Hello everyone, and welcome to the first Let's Play of Cybercore Gaming. So some of you may know me from my guides on Final Fantasy XIV on my main channel, Syzygian Connor. Um, so some of you may know me by Sizz, if you know me from in that game, or if you know me in real life, Connor. Um, anyway, so this is going to be my first Let's Play on this channel. I got a lot of stuff in the pipe for this, as I mentioned when I first started that other channel. Um, And the first in line is going to be a no money playthrough of Final Fantasy VII. I love challenge playthroughs. I'm probably going to be doing a lot of those. Just interesting little playthroughs of random games to kind of take on a challenge, I guess. And this one's not going to be too crazy. I'm just going to go through the entire game without spending a dime. So that'll be pretty fun. I'm just going to use what I find. I'm not even going to spend money on ins. So it'll be interesting to see how that works out. Um, yeah, anyway, I guess since this is my first Let's Play, I'll bore you guys a little bit with a little bit of background on myself. Um, so, started watching Let's Plays actively about, I guess, 2 years ago. And it's always been something that I've wanted to do. Even since I was like a little kid, I was like, wouldn't it be great if you could get paid to play video games? And now people are doing it. So, you know, and not even just get paid to play video games, just have people watch it. Like, I remember going to like fucking like you go to sports events in high school or middle school or even elementary school, and it's just like, wow, these people, everyone wants to watch them throw a ball around. Wouldn't it be great if people just wanted to watch you play video games? It sounds stupid, but that's what I was thinking at the time. And like, then once I got older, I started getting into music, and that was my passion for a long time, and it still is. Um, and this channel is going to incorporate a little bit of that because I'm going to do some of my own stuff for, I guess, a theme song for this channel, for all the Let's Plays and stuff. Um, and I don't know. I'll just see where it goes. I got a lot of ideas, and I wanna go ahead and start churning them out. Um, I got this and Metroid Prime that I'm playing right now, and then a playthrough of Donkey Kong Country, the original that I'll release later. Um, and yeah, so Final Fantasy VII. This is the first RPG, one of the first RPGs that I ever played. I remember playing it in middle school, like when I got my first PlayStation, and actually the game that actually come on, newcomer, follow me. The game that actually got me the game that actually got me into like JRPGs was actually Legend of Legaia, and that I will be playing on here at some point. And I remember I played this first, and I couldn't get over how much I fucking hated Midgar. It was annoying as fuck. I did not like Midgar, um, and it just felt like, no other game I played up to that point took so long, just to like, or was so big. And so I remember just Midgar just felt like a game unto itself at that point compared to anything else I'd ever played. Um, and uh, yeah, no. So I quit playing like a couple hours into Final Fantasy VII, and I went and played Legend of Legaia instead. And I thought that game was fucking awesome. If you haven't ever played it, I recommend playing it because it's a classic game in my opinion. Um, and God, fuck, what do you want? Wow, you used to be in Soldier, all right. There's a lot of like translation problems in this game. I don't know. I don't really know what the story behind that is, but some of them are pretty funny. Um, this is just your usual exposition and whatnot. I love how Wedge is off to the side, just like pretending like he's holding a gun, but there's nothing there. I always thought the sprites in this game look just absolutely comical. Um, yeah, and then I came back to Final Fantasy VII, and um, and I loved it. And I know that I'm not a fanboy, but I do really like this game. Like, I think this is a good game. And, like, I won't... There's things that I don't like about it. I like Final Fantasies that have an enforced job system much more than these ones where you can just make everyone, like, crazy overpowered. So, over time, like, games like 7 and 8 and 10 kind of lost their luster for me. And because you could just make every character into a freaking god, and it was retarded. Well, I don't care if you don't trust me. If you don't trust me, why are you letting me handle explosives with you? That's really the logical question. I never did like the Cloud wears purple. It never really clicked for me. Doesn't seem like a very good fashion statement. But anyway. I keep wanting to use the joystick because I'm so used to that. I'm playing way too much Final Fantasy XIV. And this is, I guess, one good benefit of this is that I'll be kind of getting some downtime away from that. So I don't get too burnt out. Oh god, these things are weird. I want to say they're supposed to be corals. Like the cats with tentacles for whiskers that are in a lot of the Final Fantasy games. And they're from something else. Like everything in Final Fantasy, it was borrowed from something, but I can't remember what. I don't think that's what those are. They're just weird sort of wolf cat things with tentacles coming out of their heads. Kinky. Anyway. What the fuck was I saying? I don't remember. Oh yeah. So, yeah, although I do really love this game and I love its story, like I do wish it had a little bit more of that enforced job system. Because that adds a lot more challenge to me. Another thing that a lot of people do when they play through RPGs like this is they'll like pick 3 characters and just grind the living shit out of them, and make the game kind of face roll. And I have not, will not, never. I have not, and will not ever do that. Like, and I won't be doing it in this playthrough. I'm going to be leveling everybody pretty equally, and I'm going to be rotating my characters in and out. So I've never understood that. Like, I don't know. It just feels... It takes away from the immersion for me to only pick 3 characters, because then it's like only those 3 characters are in the fucking story, are involved in the game. And it's like... Or 4 characters if you're playing, I don't know, Final Fantasy IX or something, but... Yeah, I've never done that. Not going to do it. So if your favorite character never gets used in other Let's Plays, then rest assured I'll be using them. Except for Aeris, because, well... Is that really a spoiler at this point? I'm gonna assume it is. Because, I mean, I don't know. I'll still be using Aeris. Don't worry. After all, I did work for... Yeah. These opening few scenes is basically just Barrett and Cloud having pissing contests, and Cloud trolls Barrett, and Barrett tells Cloud that he's a white penis wrinkle. That's such a like preschool thing to do. Is like, I don't like the way you're behaving. I'm coming with you now. You're gonna babysit you. It's their lives just for this code. So, yeah. Simple enough. There's some shit down here. Gimme. I remember the first boss in this game gave me a lot of problems. I mean, this is the first game I ever played that had an active time thing. Like, before this, the most RPG thing that I'd ever played was like Zelda: A Link to the Past, or like Illusion of Gaia. It's a great game, by the way. I'm gonna be playing that too. I love the little animations that they have. They're so open to interpretation. Not my problem. Just like this little crab thing with his arms. Planet's dying, Cloud. Oh, Cloud, ever the edgelord. This being my first Let's Play, I'm bound to make mistakes as far as audio goes. God damn it, speaking of mistakes. And as far as, I don't know. I'm going to try and clean up most of it in post. Which, as it just so happens, I have a little bit of a background in sound. That comes from, well, a lot of it came from working on music. You know, as for what kind of music, I mean, you'll be able to tell when you hear you've been able to tell just from hearing the title sequence, but I don't really know how to describe it. But it does help a lot when it comes to working on videos and stuff like this, because it just kind of gives me, it's that much less work I have to do, because I already kind of know what I'm doing with sound. So I'm going to try and incorporate and benefit from that as much as possible so that you guys don't have to hear shitty audio. God. Alright, what we got here? In Final Fantasy VII, there was like very little like that you could really know about your enemies. Like all the the game didn't really, like, now there's RPGs that have like in-game bestiaries and stuff, and like you can see like everything about, like, you can see their life gauge, you can see like what, you know, status effects they have on them, like just by like, you know, just by targeting them. This game, like, I don't know. I don't really know when that started, but it just feels like there's a lot in the older games that you had to kind of figure out just by trial and error. I'm going to adjust this mic a little bit because it's kind of forcing me to look away from the screen slightly. What do you got to say? Push the OK button. Okay. Yeah, playing the game on without using money, I have done that. I have done it before. I'm not sure if I played all the way through to the end of the game like that, but I did get pretty far. And the main challenge is that there's certain materia that you never get. There's certain really good weapons that you never get, and I'm not sure if there's any ultimate weapons that are completely ruled out by you not being able to spend money. I haven't decided if I'm going to allow myself to spend like gold saucer points and shit. I mean, we'll see. But, I don't know. I'm not really sure how I feel about it. I should probably be using magic. I don't understand why a Cloud starts with ice and bolt magic. Like, why those two elements in particular. I remember I started, there was one playthrough where I basically just had everyone only use materia of similar to what they start with. So like, and what is it? I don't remember what the blue materia is called. I think it's support materia. I'm not sure. They could use like materia of the type that they started with plus support materia, and if it was like, I don't remember how I determined the rules basically, but I tried to give everyone like a job based on what their starting equipment and starting gear is and materia. That probably doesn't make any sense, but I tried it. Because like there's people that play through these games and like do fucking, like, god damn it, I keep forgetting Circle is confirmed. play through these games like with initial equipment, not leveling up, no money, only one character, level 1, like blah blah blah. I don't know, it's crazy. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time because I'm at the 15-minute mark and that's where I'm going to cut this. So later, hope you've enjoyed it and hope you're going to continue to enjoy it because it'll get really interesting once I realize that I need money and can't spend it.